Hello, hello, hello. My name is Agata. My email is dunyazad@gmail.com. And I'm going to do a reading today using the pictorial Kitaru and the soul cards, which is an oracle card. So, oracle deck, I'm sorry. So, and it's going to be a 20 card reading. And the question that I'm asking the tarot is going to be, how will the people from the 20th and the 21st century will be seen 1,000 years from now? I repeat, how will the people from the 20th and the 21st century will be seen 1,000 years from now? How will we be seen 1,000 years from now? Okay, that's the question that I'm asking the tarot, and it's going to be, I'm going to use the, I forgot now, it's a 10 card reading. It's the Celtic Cross, which normally it's a 10 card reading, but for each one of those cards I'm going to take a clarification card from the soul cards, okay? So in total it's going to be 20 cards. So again, the question is, how will the people from the 20th and the 21st century will be seen 1,000 years from now? How will the people from the 20th and 21st century will be seen 1,000 years from now? How will we be seen 1,000 years from now? Now, this could be by other humans, okay, but not necessarily if we go extinct, okay? So how will the people of the 20th and the 21st century will be seen 1,000 years from now? How will we be seen 1,000 years from now? Hopefully by the surviving humans, by the surviving human race, okay, hopefully. So how will the people from the 20th and 21st century will be seen 1,000 years from now? I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna take 10 cards. 1. Okay. 2. 3. The first one was always the Tower. 3. Okay. Involved in wars, always starting a new war. A period of war, a period of decline, a period of unrest, structures falling down, war. Very aggressive. We are going to be seen as very aggressive people. The 4th card, dominated by theocratic people, oligarchs, dictators, people who always wanted to have the power. They will see us as dominated as almost as by emperors, kings, but this is like people who have the power, how do you say, military people, people with authority in the secular state, but also people with authority in the financial state, police. We are dominated by police. It's a police state. It's a police world. Policed world. Like the authoritarian world. A place where we are dominated and controlled by the police. By authorities. Now. 5th. Okay. And we think everything is fine. 6. Okay, yeah, just a lot of swords. They are going to see us as bloodlust people. I don't know if this is proper English. It's just wars upon wars upon wars. This is how we are going to be seen. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 7. Yeah, and burdens, with lots and lots of burdens, and people are overworked. Ordinary people are overworked. 8, oh my god, 10. Also another 10. There's 2 10s. This is like the end of a cycle. The 20th and the 21st century are going to be seen as the end of a certain type of cycle, of a certain type of behavior. This is the end. We are living the end. Oh my god. Ninth. Oh, okay. The nine, the Page of Cups, and this is also a beginning of something different, of something new, of something more empathic, there's more compassion. After this, there will be like the beginning of something that will be more compassionate, also more compassion towards the kids, the babies, the children, and it's like there will be like a lot of emphasis placed on the children, on giving love to the children, and this is gonna be like the opposite of this time. It will be like the antidote for this time, 20th and 21st century. In the outcome, the wheel. Oh my God. Oh my, we are not going to be seen in a positive way, and we are going to be seen as people who thought everything was fine. We will be seen also as people who are addicted, a lot of addiction, people who think that everything is fine. I mean, I'm fine. You're fine. Like, we don't look at reality. We kind of lie to ourselves, and we don't look at all the wars going on. And we are going to be seen as dominated by people who have lots and lots of money, and they don't care about the ordinary, the other ones, the little people, the ones who don't. When I say little people, it's like ordinary people, the poor and the middle class. We are going to be also this one is bold. This reminds me of I was going to say Lex Luthor. No, Bezos, who dominates, who has Amazon. So this guy is going to be remembered even 1,000 years from now. He's going to be remembered. He's going to be remembered as someone who has a lot of power. I'm thinking Bezos from Amazon. He's going to be remembered. 1,000 years from now, he's going to be remembered. Okay, this is interesting. Now, yeah, we are not going to be seen in a very positive light. This is like the end of times. This is like the war, and just violent. This is going to be seen as very violent times, but also the beginning of something new, because it ends with the Page of Cups, which is a nicer energy, and with the Wheel of Fortune, which is a complete transformation, a revolution. Also, there's 2 tens, which tells me, quote unquote, so to speak, the end of times. It's not the end of the human race, okay? It's just the end. It's just very violent. We are going to be seen as very violent. Also, there's the tower, and look at the tower, missiles. This is a missile. This is not just a tower that which is striken by a lightning bolt, but this is, to me, is missiles. Missiles just killing people. USA is going to be remembered as a very bloodlust country. I'm going to say USA, but it's a lot of, not just USA, many other countries. Also fighting because of religious differences, because this emperor kind of seems religious-minded, kind of. But yeah, we're not going to see in a very positive light. Now I'm going to look at the end of the deck to see another energy. Yeah, the Five of Cups. This is not going to be seen the 20th and the 21st century. It's not going to be seen 1,000 years from now in a very positive light. It's like we squandered everything, or a lot of things, because there's 3 cups and we're crying over 3 cups, and there's 2 cups still up. So we lost a lot of things. This is how we're going to be seen, but not everything. We didn't lose everything. I'm thinking environment, but not just environment. Also the people are really depressed. This could represent the people, the Five of Cups. You are going to be seen as very depressed sort of people. Very sad people, very sad. Overworked people, always ill people. always depressed, always victims of, oh God. We are not going to be seen in a very good light. Blood lost in lots and lots of wars. 20th and 21st century. Now I'm going to take another 10 cards as clarification cards for these ones that I just took. So from the Soul Cards Oracle. So how, again, the question is, how will the people from the 20th and 21st century will be seen 1,000 years from now? How will the people from the 20th and 21st century will be seen 1,000 years from now? How will we be seen? Okay. And I've already shuffled before I turn on the camera. I'm gonna cut. I really hope, I would like very much for this video to be seen 1,000 years from now. Ooh, that would be awesome. Hello people from 1,000 years from now, how are you? How are you? Oh my God, look at this. Yeah! These are clarification cards. Interesting, look at this. It seems like we're walking away from fighting. Like a lot of people, a lot of refugees, because they need to flee because of fighting. Third, but at the same time, it is times when there will be a lot of scientific discoveries. So, the Ace of Swords could be fighting, also victory. There's many meanings. But it's a card connected with the air signs, which are Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And which is interesting because in a few days we're going to have Saturn and Jupiter. No, I'm sorry. Yes, Saturn and Jupiter at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So this could be scientific breakthrough. And I'm seeing this clarification card. This is an old man. And he's like doing a lot of... I don't know, at first glance, it's felt to me, I don't want to hide, I haven't taken all the other cards. It felt to me like it's a time that even though we have a lot of scientific breakthroughs, we spend it on making war. What else? Also, this guy is bald. And I told you before, there's the Nine of Cups. To me, it looks like Bezos. I'm thinking that also the Ace of Swords is an insight, being smart, having an insight, understanding everything. To me, it felt like, in a less positive way, that Bezos, I'm thinking Bezos, but it doesn't have to be necessarily Bezos from Amazon, because these two guys, the figures are bald. They have no hair, just like Bezos from Amazon. It felt like scheming. Scheming. Like 1,000 years from now, Bezos will be seen as a very intelligent guy, a very scheming sort of guy that used that to his benefit. I don't know, it just feels like I know he has a lot of power, and he might become the very first trillionaire or something. But he might be seen as very smart. He might be remembered 1,000 years from now. He might not invent something, but yes, he might come up with something besides Amazon, something else. Something very smart. I don't know what it is, but it could be seen as someone. There's several ways. One way is like kind of quote unquote Renaissance man, in the sense that he might facilitate a lot of things through his business that turn out to be something good for the future. And a different way is that a scheming type of guy, a winner, but someone that goes on the offense, someone who fights for something. But this also, this is, I don't know, cunning. To me, it felt like cunning. A cunning, smart guy that dominates the market. I don't know, Bezos might, and he's going to invent even more things. Not just Amazon. He's going to come up with different types of concepts. If this is indeed Bezos, I don't know. He might be remembered 1,000 years from now. This is interesting. Now I'm going to take all the other cards because, you know. 4, interesting. 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, 9. Okay, 10. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna see the below the deck if there's something. Do you know what this tells me? This to me is one of the cards that I've seen as guardian angel. It tells me that even though we people from the 20th and 21st century, and I was born in the 20th century, and I'm making this video in the 21st century, near 2020. So I belong to both of these centuries. This tells me that these people, even though we make awful things, that we are people very violent, or going to be seen as very violent, somehow we are protected by the angels, or the population, the human species is protected and will make it through. It will survive, even though we are so stupid. We, from the 20th and the 21st century. Let me just say, if this video survives 1,000 years, which I doubt it, but okay. If this survives, let me just say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We were so bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know what to say. Yeah. I'm just seeing violence. I don't see here consumption. Like too much consumption and like killing the earth. And it's like we're killing ourselves. We are going to be seen in a way. The violent thing that too many wars is the thing that will prevail in the psyche of the people who will be alive 1,000 years from now. From this time, they will remember not the consumerism, not the capitalism. They will remember the wars. Never-ending wars. They will remember the First World War, the Second World War, and all the wars that happened after that. They will remember that. That is the thing they will remember. However, it's interesting that in the fears, hopes, advice, there's these two cards. And the clarification card, you see a person that sees the light. It's coming out of the darkness and it sees the light. So they will see us as people who were still hopeful, who were still naive, kind of behave like children. But we had hope that things would get better, and I think things will get better and things will be brighter because I see the brightness of this clarification card. We will see the light eventually. I don't know when, but we will see the light and things will get better and there will be more compassion and more empathy among humans. At least 1,000 years from now, hopefully that will happen. Or not 1,000 years from now, but maybe after the 21st century. I don't know. Now I don't know if you can see my kapot. No, I'm cold. It's another thing. So this is the ending, a big transformation. So a big change. And this is the clarification card. So it's a person, and this person has 6 hands. But I see here, it seems like he or she is holding a dark figure, that it seems like a dark egg. So maybe we will be born so to speak, born, quote unquote, to the concept, to the idea. We will be born, how do you say this? We will reach for the stars. Do you understand? The end of the, maybe at the end of the 21st, or maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 years from now, I don't know when. We are in 2020, maybe in 2030. That would be awesome. But sometime during the 21st century, or maybe at the very end, because it's the 10, at the very end of the 21st century, so something like 2090, 2080, 2090, 2095, 2099, oh my god, 2099. Someone should make a song about it. We will go to the stars. We will be born into the universe. How do I say this? We will understand the responsibilities. We will understand that we are bigger than Earth, and if we are to conquer so to speak, the stars, the universe, not the universe, but just go beyond Earth, we're gonna have to change and behave in a different way, in a more compassionate sort of way. So I think we will be aware of, I don't know, the universe more than now. We will, maybe at the end of this century, we will start going to other planets. If this makes any type of sense, I don't know. Maybe we will meet in a very official sort of way. We will meet other species. It's like, to me it's an egg, a black egg, but this black egg is filled with stars. So we will go to other planets. Now, another thing that I'm noticing, this person has a wound in his or her head. There's like a wound here. How do I read this? The outcome. A wound. We are wounded. We are going to be seen as wounded people. Yeah, we are wounded people. Emotionally wounded people. More emotionally. I'm talking about more in a more emotional way. We're going to be seen, the people from the 20th and 21st century, as very emotionally and spiritually also wounded people, wounded souls and bodies because of all the wars. But we are like, this guy is holding his hands up, but it's like 4 hands. It's like he gives up, and there's a transformation. After this person, who might represent us from the 20th and 21st century, after we give up, then there's a big transformation that will allow us, so to speak, to inherit the stars, to leave Earth. Oh my god, that would be awesome. You know, at the end of this century, going to, I don't know, populate other zones, other planets. Yeah, it can be done. We can do this. Honestly, I have no doubt. Do you know why? Because that's what we do. We humans, we always go further. We discovered and populated the entire Earth, and now what is left for us to do is go beyond Earth. That's what we do. That's a normal thing for us. If we just could stop killing each other, that would be awesome. Okay, let's read this. So, how will we be seen 1,000 years from now? As people who are always in conflict, at war, as people who belonged to a place and time where structures are being destroyed, a way of life is being destroyed, capitalism, for instance, is being destroyed, and you look at this clarification card, this guy is hiding. He's like he's hiding somewhere because maybe he doesn't want to be destroyed. We will be seen as people who will you know, destroy civilian populations in wars. Because to me this is a missile that goes and destroys a building and people are dying and this guy is trying to hide. So this also reminds me of the Holocaust. You know, the Jewish, not just the Jewish, but a lot of people who lost their lives to the Nazis during the Second World War. The Nazis will still be remembered also. So, but it will be kind of like something, how do I say? All of those wars, all of these wars, and probably many other that will come, still in this century, 1,000 years from now, the people from then will kind of like mix everything up. You understand? Because there will be so many that they can't understand the difference between the first and the second. To them, it's going to be all the same. To them, it's going to be like, oh, right, when all of those populations got killed by the Nazis in 2040, you know, and it was not 2040, it was like 100 years before. So, but they will, to them, it's like a never-ending flow of violence. 1,000 years from now, this is how we will be seen, as people always involved in violence and people trying to protect themselves. Now, that which is yet not seen, or maybe some sort of obstacle. Okay. This kind of speaks to me now, these two cards. And it's the day of now. And I'm doing this in 2020, December 2020. A few days before Christmas. Not a few days. Today is the 16th. Christmas is 24. The day before Christmas, let's see. So many days. Yeah. Set, wait, not. About 9 days before Christmas. Okay? I wonder if they will have Christmas 1,000 years from now. So this is the Page of Swords. It tells me a new war is being prepared. There's a new war somewhere. And I don't mean in 2021. I mean during the 21st century. Sometime during that 21st century, another war. Because there's wars, yeah, it's like, oh my God. And this is the clarification card. And to me, it's a woman walking away. So another war that will make new people, how do you say in Portuguese, is refugiados, people who flee wars. I don't know the name now. It's like a woman leaving a war place, and she seems a bit, not necessarily. She seems black, but not necessarily. So another war is on the mix. Is on how do you say? It's being prepared right now. So to me, these two cards speak to me now. And we will be remembered as a brand new war. Oh my God, it's like wars. I read this as aggressiveness. It could be read in a different way, but in the context of this reading, I'm going to read this as a new war. A new war will be won. I don't know when. I don't know exactly where. Okay? This will make the population flee, especially the women. Yeah. Now, the base is the root. We have the Ace of Wands. And I've told you before the several meanings connected with this. The Ace of Swords, and this is clarification card. I told you about scientific breakthroughs like innovations. Also, internet. We will be remembered by the internet, for the internet. Yeah, and how Bezos dominated the internet in the 20th and 21st century. This guy, I don't think, I might be wrong again, but I don't think during his lifetime Bezos will ever see his empire diminish. From this reading, it tells me it will increase. It will be bigger. And you will be smart enough to, I don't know, take advantage of certain innovations and take advantage of the internet to dominate commerce, I don't know, a lot of things. This I've told you about this, okay? So internet, 1,000 years from now, it will be remembered that these were the days where internet and information being spread around in a more democratic sort of way existed, was invented. You know, internet was invented, was discovered, was created. But the creation of internet, this will be remembered 1,000 years from now. This will be a very big milestone. Oh my God, these are so violent people. They will say something like, these were violent people, and yet they made tremendous things, tremendous leaps. They did tremendous leaps in terms of internet. They invented the goddamn thing, and they spread information. They connected themselves, and then they used it to make war. And I'm thinking scientific breakthroughs, but more on the theoretical level. Some sort of scientific breakthroughs on the theoretical level. Do you understand? Like E equals MC squared. Those sorts of things that we should have used for the good, and we used it to make war. This is how you used it. This is how we will be remembered. Okay? We made these scientific breakthroughs theoretical, and we use it to make war. We use it to dominate others. We use it to conquer others and to, steal their resources and all of that. This is how we are going to be remembered. Instead of using all of this to the good, our intellect, our minds to the good, we use it to dominate others and to make war with others. So Bezos might be seen also someone as kind of smart and cunning, and someone who's gonna come up with a lot of new concepts, or is going to use the concepts that will be created to his economical advantage. He's going to be on top of the world. He's going to be remembered 1,000 years from now. This is one way of reading it. Another way of reading it is like I said, theoretical concepts, breakthrough, new science, a lot of scientific discoveries, also vaccines. I can see this as vaccines, but also war. Keep making war. We keep using intelligence and intellect and wit and scientific discoveries to make war. What else? I'm going to say this. Academic people who are naive, not knowing that their inventions might be used to kill others. So academic breakthroughs done by professors and scientists and all of that, but very naive people who don't know that whatever they invent or discover will be used not for good, but for bad things. But a lot of scientific breakthroughs, a lot of discoveries, a lot of inventions. Internet is going to be big. The internet, it's big, but the internet is like, they will identify the 20th and the 21st century as the time where the internet was invented, was created. They will know this. Now, the past connected with the present and the future, and we have the emperor and we have the clarification card, which is interesting. It tells me that they will see the 20th and the 21st century as centuries that are, how do I say? We are a legacy of that which happens in these centuries, is a legacy of the previous colonialism times, when it was mostly Europe, when Europeans set out and invaded a lot of other places that didn't have the technology to stood up against the Europeans that came. So when those were tempos das colónias, how do you say this in English? Colony times, you know, when Europeans had a lot of colonies, where had from the 16th century up to the 19th century, more or less, Europeans set up a lot of colonies. So the 20th and the 21st century are still living the effects of that, if I make myself understood. I really hope I do. So the way of doing things, the tyrannical way of doing things and going and invading others, is still very much at play in the 20th and the 21st century. So there's a legacy of that stretches through the 20th and the 21st century. A legacy in terms of the way we think, the way we behave, the way we act, the way we make business, the way we make war. All of that stretches back to the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th century when certain countries had colonies. Do I make myself clear? Now, this is a clarification card, which is interesting because to me this is a peaceful card. Make love, not peace. I'm sorry, make love, not war. So this is a peaceful card. So there's war, there's the emperor that wants to dominate everything, wants to control everything. And there's this card. So there's like maybe even before, even from the 19th century behind to up to 400, 500 years ago, especially in the 19th century, there was this double talk or double way of thinking. One very controlling way of being and a more peaceful way of thinking. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. It's like there's two ways. There's two ways. One way is the controlling way, the dominating way, the domineering way. And the other way is the peaceful way. Let's be well with each other. Let's make peace. Let's be at peace with each other. And these are two ways of thinking. Unfortunately, the one that won was the more controlling, militaristic sort of way. Or, this is more interesting, or, in order to have peace, we have to make war. In order to have peace, we have to make war. People 1,000 years from now will remember that this is how we spoke. This is how the authorities of certain countries, many countries actually, I'm not just thinking about the USA, like we're gonna go to Iraq and Afghanistan to, impose democracy, make peace. Not just that country, but a lot of countries spoke like that. And, a lot of countries, even mine. I'm from Portugal. We had colonies up to the 70s of the 20th century. Yeah, we had colonies. We had the colonial war because the colonies didn't want to be colonies anymore. So what does the government from Portugal, that at the time was a dictatorship, a right-wing dictatorship, what does it do? It goes to Africa. We had colonies in Africa. To make what? To pacify people, to pacify, quote unquote, to pacify. It's always, the way we speak, it's always to pacify something. And how do we pacify, quote unquote? And this is true in many countries that behave like this. We use the military to pacify something. Yeah, we will be also remembered for that, the way we say that we are going to make something peaceful and then we come in and we make war. We will be remembered for that, for the way we use our words to dominate others also. This is another way. We use our words in a very peaceful ways, so to speak, in order to dominate others. Oh God. Oh my God. Now, that which is in our mind, that which we want, we will be seen as people who will be vain, addicts, who will drink way too much. We will be seen as people who drink way too much. Like I tell you, there are many different ways that I can look at these cards. I told you about Bezos because it really appeared to me like him, but I can read this also in different ways. So we will be seen 1,000 years from now as people who really didn't want to work, lazy, who would rather spend all their time in, if they could, in luxury. So it's interesting. It's like we'll be seen almost like childlike people, like very naive, people who do not take responsibility, do not take responsibility for their lives and choose alcohol and drugs and to have fun. This is not fair, okay? If we are going to be seen that way, basically, I think 1,000 years from now, they will remember like the trust fund babies, the rich people who live in tremendous wealth. I think they will remember those who are very, very rich, very, very rich. I don't think they will remember the very poor people. The very poor people, which is the majority of the people who will do the majority of the work and not be paid properly, I don't think they will remember them. They will remember the very rich ones. Either they remember the very rich ones, the ones that have very rich lives, and how they play and do nothing, which is fine. And okay, I wish I could have that life. But they will also, even if they don't remember the ones who are very wealthy, they will look at us, the ones who are not wealthy, as people who are naive and who don't take responsibilities, who always take the easy way out and almost behave like children and drink too much. We drink too much. We escape by drinking and by doing drugs. We will be seen as children, if this makes any type of sense. Oh my God. Now, this usually I read this as like the near future. The near future. Again, I'm going to take this as my time. And it's the King of Swords, which is war again. And this is the clarification card. I'm seeing this as like there's a new war that is going to show up somewhere during the 21st century. I don't know which one is it, where it's going to come from. It's already in the works. We don't see it, but it's already in the works. It's going to affect women. I don't know what this is. Also, that which is yet not seen, or that which is not seen, this could also be read as young people who, who are terrorists. So it could be that as well. It could be read as that as well, as 1,000 years from now, the terrorists will also be remembered. But it's not that. It's more like war, never-ending war now. The King of Swords with this clarification card. It's like this tells me that there will be an attempt somewhere during this century, I don't know, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 2021, I don't know when, to make some sort of peace connected with a war that is already going. Yeah, it's a war that's already going because it's the king, so it's already formed war. There will be an attempt to stop a war. There will be an attempt to make peace. I don't know where. I have no idea where. Syria? Afghanistan? I don't know. Is there Afghanistan is still going? I don't even know. So that will be remembered. I don't know why. So an attempt to end the wars will be made. An important war. An attempt to end it will be made. And that will be remembered 1,000 years from now. Now, we from now, how will we be seen? There's a 10 of Wands. As people who are overworked. Okay, so yeah, so we will be seen as people. I told you that it's not fair because maybe they will remember more 1,000 years from now. They will remember more the very rich people, but I might be mistaken because the very poor people also show up here. So they will see us as people who have to do a lot of things, who have to work a lot. Yeah, they have to work a lot. I see here an egg, and there's a woman or a man who has like 6 hands. So people who have to deal with several types of responsibilities. Also an egg. Egg is birth. There's a birth of something. This century, the 20th and the 21st century, these 2 centuries are seen as the end and the beginning of something. Also, the egg tells me fertility problems. People from 1,000 years from now will be aware of the fertility problems that we had, that we suffered. So they will remember the very rich people. They will remember the very poor people who had to work a lot, who had to do so many things. And they will know that the people who had to do a lot, who had to work a lot, aspired to be like the rich. They will know that our aspirations were to be like the rich. Not to change things, but to be like the rich. So I don't think they will respect us for that. I don't think they will respect our ambitions, because our ambitions were kind of selfish. And it did not consider the entire earth or the species itself. Now, okay, these two cards, position number 8, usually I read it as how people see us, or someone, in our midst. This is how we are going to be seen. We are going to be seen as, this is the end of some sort of civilization. The 20th and the 21st century is the end of something. Because it didn't work. Because, this person stabbed in the back. And this is the clarification card. To me, it's like blood. This is the end of something. This is the end of a cycle. This is the end of a way of living. I'm thinking this is the end of capitalism. During the 21st century, capitalism, the way this perverse way of being, it will end. It will end because it destroys everything and everyone. There will be this could be also another war, a very destructive sort of war, more destructive than the ones that we had. Could be, or it could already had happened, Also a disease of the blood. A disease of the blood, that could be the one that we are having now. Or it could be another one. But this is destruction. This is how they see us. They see us as people who keep getting killed, people who are not healthy, their blood is not healthy, and there's a lot of wars, and people who are living in a society, in a system that is ending because it makes everyone sick, or it kills everyone. This system kills people. Now, in the position 9, which is hopes, fears, and advice, we have the Page of Cups, and we have this clarification card. So they know that we have the desire to live a different type of life. They will know 1,000 years from now that we wanted to have time for kids, for instance, for children. That we wanted to live in a more empathic sort of way, with more compassion towards each other. that we wanted to live, quote unquote, like children, you know, the way children are before they kind of get corrupted by another way of viewing life, with innocence. Innocence. You understand? Innocence of the heart, innocence of the soul. They will know that we wanted to live like that. And we didn't know how. Also, I can read this, that all this destruction and all this war and fighting will ultimately lead to a more peaceful time, where children will be raised differently, with more compassion and with more love. And we will see the light. We will see the light. We will get out of the hole where we are put, because it starts with a hole. Do you see the hole? This man is in a hole. This is the very beginning with the tower. And now this guy is leaving the hole. He's trusting more. Also, this is a gift. This is opening the heart. We didn't open the heart. The advice for us in the 21st century is to open up our heart and to be more kind. And we didn't do that. Eventually it will happen. Eventually, I think, it will lead to a time that people will behave in a different way, with a more open heart, who will be more compassionate towards each other. All of this destruction. Now, the result, the outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. There will be a different system, completely new system. And this is a clarification card. Why? Because people are sick. Also, sick of the mind. There's a sickness of the mind. I think it will be recognized that a lot of sociopaths, a lot of psychopaths dominated the world in the 20th and the 21st century. 1,000 years from now, that will be recognized. And like I said, all of this war and destruction will lead to the end of the system, and after that it will be a very big transformation, and we will reach for the stars, because you cannot live in a way that is making us sick. Another way of reading these two cards is that the psychopaths, they raise their hands. And finally, we can change our lives. You understand? Also, I see this big hole. To me, it's like the universe. We can go beyond this. We can grow beyond the earth. We can go beyond. But we have to change the way we are, the way we behave. We behave as children. We intoxicate ourselves. We don't have responsibilities, even though we work very hard. We don't see life the way it should be seen. And we are very aggressive, and we use scientific discoveries for bad things. We use scientific discoveries to make war. Also, the tower makes me think of in 1945, 6th of August 1945 and 9th of August 1945. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or is it Nagasaki and Hiroshima? You understand? You know what happened then. The nuclear bomb. Yeah, we use a discovery like that to immediately obliterate people and just to end their lives. We will be seen as people who, instead of using scientific discovery for the good, we use it to make war. And we say that we are going to make war in order to bring peace. That will be our excuse, you know. We will be seen as living in a very deficient system that is making us sick. We are in the end of time, so to speak. This system is about to fail. I don't know when, but during this century. We will be seen as the people who created the internet. Bezos will be remembered, and he's gonna come up with something new. There's more to it than not just Amazon. We will be seen as people who always worked, didn't have their heart open, a disease of the blood, which is the one that we are living now, but maybe another one. We lived in a system that is making us sick, fertility problems, and a new war is coming up. A new war is being prepared right now. Yep, that's it. That's the way we will be remembered 1,000 years from now. Okay. Hopefully things will be and very depressed. We're going to be remembered as very depressed sorts of people. But at the same time, we were protected and we came out of this. It feels like we will survive this as a species. As a species, we will survive this. Okay, so, hey people from 1,000 years from now, how are you? Are you good? Are you good? Where are you? Are you here? Okay, are you in Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, whatever? Where are you? Regal, near Regal, whatever it is. I want to say hi. Are you on Earth? Hi, hi, hi. I hope you are well. So that's it. This is my reading. I was curious. My name is Agatha. My email is dunyazda@gmail.com, and I really do hope you have a great day. Bye bye.